Hi. So sorry about that. I'm always forgetting to turn my microphone on. Welcome, you guys to the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. Um, Thank you for tuning in. This is our Black Art and Culture section, and we're actually going to be having with us our guest artist today is Angie Redman. She is an absolutely amazing young artist that I met whew, several years ago in Chicago. I met her in Chicago during an art show and just absolutely fell in love with her work. And she has just continually been growing and just really experimenting and developing her craft. And I am just excited about actually doing an interview with her and just sharing some of her talent with you guys. This is really exciting. I really love doing these shows because I not only do you get to learn about these amazing artists, I get to learn so much more about these talented and amazing artists, learn things that I did not even know about them. So I'm excited about bringing Angie on and sharing what she does and who she is with you. So I'm going to bring her up. I'm going to bring Angie up out. She's back there backstage waiting to come up. So let me bring her up. Hi, Angie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. It is so good to have you here in our studio and to be
Thank
able to
you.
chat with you and learn so much more about you because you are, to me, you're multifaceted. When I met you, you were at the art show and just kind of excited, and I'm like young and fresh, and it's like you
Yeah,
gotta take over the world, and then you took it over. So
thank you.
so it's just really exciting to have you here with us and being able to share your work and your culture and all of those kind of things. So I'm going to have you share a little bit about yourself, just to kind of let people know a little bit about you. And then we're going to get into some questions, look at some of your really cool art, and just let the world know who Angie Redmond really is. So I'm gonna bring you up, and I want you to just share a little bit about yourself. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, again, I'm Angie Redman. I'm from right outside of the Chicago area, and I'm an oil painter. I got my bachelor's of my BA in painting in 2019 at Albion College, and now I'm working on a master's degree in oil painting at Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, Illinois. And I love to paint portraits and figures. Like I'm all about painting the black body and representing the black body within my art with, lots of bright colors. And I love the thickness of the oil paint. I love to do that in pastel. So right now I'm just continuing. I'm at my last year of grad school, so thank goodness for that. And I just want to continue to grow my artwork and my portfolio and do more shows.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She's like, she left me. She left me. No, I didn't leave. I didn't abandon you. So Angie, we have been experiencing some really interesting things in the world today. How does that affect? How does that affect your artwork? How does that affect you as an artist? And then how does it affect you as a Black African American?
Well, especially with the quarantine and everything that's been going on in 2020, it's such a depressing state, so it affected me, as an artist. One, not even wanting to go to the studio, because it was just like either you didn't want to leave your house because the COVID is everywhere, or you just didn't have the passion to do it because so much negative stuff was going on. But I was able to kind of like push past that because at the end of the day, like, yeah, this is a really trying time, but there's always going to be something going on. So it's like you got to push yourself. So getting back to the studio, and that's actually what I'm working on now in my upcoming series for graduation, is I'm thinking about with my art. I love to focus on people and current events and what I see every day through my daily life. And yes, we see all the negative stuff. Children having to be at home with their and not go to school and all that stuff. But I was trying to think of like what are the good things that's kind of happening in between all the negativeness. And for instance, I'm working on a painting now where it's of my brother-in-law and his son. His son is like 3 or 4 years old, and they're on the couch. And he's teaching him how to count. He's because the little boy can't go to school. But it's like that's time they spent together that they probably wouldn't have done otherwise. So it's like I'm looking at those good moments that's happening in between. And as a Black artist in particular, especially with the rise of the Black Lives Matter and the protests and everything that's been going on, I went to a couple of the protests that was here in DeKalb, and then seeing it all online and on TV. That it was all 50 states that protested, and I think it was like 12 countries, something like that. It just seemed like the world came together to say that this violence needs to stop. So that's something I'm bringing into my art as well. Like, of course, George Floyd and all the other people who lost their lives to police brutality is horrible. But it seems like now with Black Lives Matter, even with the like all the political stuff that's happening as well, it still seems like now it's not just Black people who are saying this is enough. It's like there's all type of races and people that's in ages, coming together to saying this needs to stop. And like that, I'm bringing that into my art, showing, making images based off of that. Your mic is on.
I turned it off here, so I'm not interrupting you. And so it's almost like you're saying some of the similar things because I interviewed Gerald Griffin last week, and bringing in that aspect of it's not just Black anymore. It's not just Black people saying, hey, enough is enough. And one of the things that I shared with Gerald is when I did my exhibit in Old Town, I was getting several people from other cultures saying, wow, we've been robbed. We've been robbed of this history, and those weren't Black people.
Right.
For years we were, I'm like, yeah, they didn't teach Black history, they didn't teach us our history, but in reality, it's American history, and everybody missed out on all of it. It wasn't just Black people. And so it sounds like that's similar to what you're saying, is that through your work, through your new body of work, you want to encompass everything that's going on, and show that. And I think it's wonderful that you're looking at the positive aspects of it. It's like a lot of people are doing the negative. Oh, go ahead and tell you. I don't want to talk over you.
No, yeah, exactly. Like you were about to say, a lot of people are doing the negative, and I understand that, of course, because it's everywhere. But like, I just wanted my art to be kind of like that good, that glimmer of hope in between, because there's always going to be negative, but it's like in order to make it to the next day, we have to figure out, okay, what is working, and so that's what I'm trying to bring into my art.
Right. And so you recently just did something with Black Lives Matter. You just recently you were painting. Was this did you guys do the Black Lives Matter mural? Is that what you were painting?
Yeah, it was at at my school here at Northern Illinois University. And honestly, I was just so proud to be a part, be a Husky, and for them to do that, because, we've recently, a couple of weeks ago, had someone, they still don't know who, had someone write, a racial slur in spray paint over the Black Student Alliance building.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, the school could have easily, not really done nothing about it, but they were so outraged by it, like the, school officials, and it's like they came together. It's like, no, let's figure out what we're gonna do, to show that that's not gonna be tolerated on this school. So the theater, I believe it was the theater department, as well as the Black Student Alliances, and they opened it up to the campus. We all came together, and on the main street that enters into the university, we painted the Black Lives Matter mural. Yeah,
right here. Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty fantastic to see, and so I'm sure that gave you a great feeling to see that your school would do something like this and say, "Hey, this is pretty. We're not going to allow this. We're not going to just let this go." So
right, it was great support, So it was fantastic of the school.
Well, I'm glad they were able to do that, because I saw that I saw when you posted that on your page, and I was like, oh wow, to be able to be a part of that, because I know they've been doing these Black Lives murals all over in different places, and then to be able to do that in your own school, and and not necessarily have to be the one that says, hey, I want to, this, I'm not tolerating this kind of stuff, but for the school to stand up and say, hey, you know what, we have Black students here and we don't want to see that. I mean, that was pretty amazing for any institution to do.
Exactly.
Like yeah. So that was pretty cool. So with that being said, and with those kind of things being done, you're moving forward with your artwork. But I remember from, some of the things that you used to do, and I look at you as this very urban sort of artist. You were doing, at the time I met you, you were doing these really amazing hair ones. Your focus was definitely on hair. Tell me a little bit about that, because I know that was a huge focus for you at the time. With your artwork was it was like it was all about hair at that.
I came to do that project. It actually came my last year of undergrad. I had an idea. I was like, I want to paint about hair, and the reason I did that was, going to school at Albion undergrad, it was a small percentage of Black students. It was mostly white, and I was really the only one who had hair like I did. But honestly, I never felt any type of negativity towards my hair at school. It was more so, with around friends and family, other Black people. And they were saying, like, oh, you can't wear your hair like that. It's it looks unprofessional, or it's nappy, and you just have to perm your hair. That was the thing, perm your hair. And it was just, to me, it was like, why do I need to chemically, permanently change the texture of my God-given hair? And it was unacceptable to me. So I started, doing some more research and, finding about all of the negative content that was put towards natural Black hair, and I just did this series. The series was called Crown and Glory, and it featured, it was like zoomed into the hair, like only showing some parts of the face. I wanted it to kind of be ambiguous, so it can be like any person. And in the hair or in the face, I would write a negative word. And it was kind of to give a contrast, give that juxtaposition between this person and that word. To saying like, okay, this person is wearing their natural hair, but that doesn't mean, that they're ignorant or unprofessional, or, want some type of, like that one. Like they say that they're not ignorant. So it was to give that contradiction. And I also wanted it to make a bold statement, to see this black face and it has, ignorant written across it. I really wanted to bring the viewer in to, figure out what's going on here. Yeah, and the same with that painting with buckwheat. And as the smaller writing that's along the top left of the painting in his hair, it says pickaninny all over. And that's a word actually until I started doing this series, I hadn't heard about it. I came across it in my research. So it's still giving that same bold statement to say are you gonna really call this person a pickaninny and buckwheat because they're wearing their natural hair? And this painting is actually from another series about hair. Because after I finished that first Crown and Glory, it was kind of along the beginning of the natural hair movement. And it's now more people were starting to wear their natural hair, and celebrate their natural hair. So I did this painting because I was thinking we need to instill it into children how important and how beautiful they are. So I called this painting "What If God Had Made It Differently?" And it's just to teach the young little girls and boys, that they're perfect just the way they are.
Right. Yeah. I really love the color. That was the one thing that I loved about your work is the bold and dynamic color. And you still have a lot of bold and dynamic color, which we'll see in some of your work that I'll be showing. But that's one of the things that really caught my attention about your work is that it was very bold and very dynamic. And it's like you were not afraid of color. You were not afraid of using those. And like you said, you put it on thick, like there was just something about that. And is there a reason? Is there is there a reason behind how you create your painting? How, when you put that paint on the canvas, is there a reason why you create it that way? Why you use that tone? Because it's actual a tone.
Yeah.
Your work actually has a tone. So is there a reason behind that?
Well, when I first started painting, what a lot of my friends and family know is that I actually used to be really shy. I was really mute and shy. And my paintings was a way for me to be bold and expressive like I wanted to be in myself, just my regular self. And I was kind of speaking through my paintings. So I feel like I'm not shy at all anymore, and I've been doing this for a while. But, I love to, first of all, I use oil. I do oil on canvas. And the reason I do the oil is because I love the impasto to make that, that texture that you can get and, just popping off the canvas. That's to me, the artwork that's most striking and really catches my attention. And then when it's bold, but bold but purposeful colors, not just anything thrown on the canvas. And then just keeping with that thick, because I feel like, first of all, I don't want to do too try to get photorealistic, because great for those people who can do it. I wish I could, that's fantastic. But, since it's a painting, I'm going to treat it like a painting. It's not a photo. And I'm going to really be gestural and add a lot of brush strokes and lines to it.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it. And so it's like you said, you were kind of quiet, and then all of a sudden it's like a way of expression for you. Right. And so you find that it's almost like your voice. It's almost like a voice that gave you a voice in a sense. And so that's the amazing part about it. And I think it's kind of, because I met you at one stage of your life, and I met you at the stage where you did have really, your hair was long and you had these really thick, they were like locks or braids, but I thought they were beautiful because you wore them well. And so, but then, artists, we don't have those kind of hangups that that most of the world has with, you know, with how we look and things like that. And so I think it's amazing that art has actually given you that expression. And would you say that for other people, you know, like people that you meet and they're like, oh, well, you know, I I don't really know how to, you know, I'm not very artistic, and I'm not really that bold and things like that. What would you say to somebody like that, considering that you came out of this sort of quiet background? What would you say to someone who would say something like that?
Well, I would say to that person, like, if they feel like, painting is not their thing, they're not artistic in that way, I would say, well, you're something about you is, you're into something, whether it be music or dance or something like that. Find whatever it is that's your thing to do. Try different things, find what it is, and then, just go all in for it. Because, yeah, like you said, like art, I've always been into art. I've been, when I was a little girl, I used to take like pictures from a magazine and try to recreate it and give those out to friends and family. And they were not good at all, but it was just
I bet
starting.
you were better than most.
Thank you. But so I've also, so art I knew was always going to be my thing, and I knew I was going to take that to college and then a career with it. So for whoever need, I would just say look for, try different things, see what your thing is.
So who were some of your biggest influences coming up, as far as, as you were coming up, because you've always known that art was going to be your thing, which means that in the beginning, was there somebody in your life that was an artist, or, that kind of where you were like, whoa, this, yeah, I'm so gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Was there somebody there like that?
You know what? I'm the only like fine artist in the family, and have ever been that I know of. But the person who was like really creative to me was my mom. She has all our lives. I remember her just being, like she did a lot of DIY projects along the house. If she wanted a business, she started different businesses she wanted to do. She had made these dolls out of like those air freshener things. Like she wasn't a painter, but she was so creative. And when she had an idea, she was gonna do it. Whether it continued or not, she was gonna at least try. And so for me, I would say it was definitely my mom.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow. So she was just, and that's interesting, because a lot of times we think that our influences come from another artist, where it's like, oh yeah, I was influenced from this other artist, but you actually grabbed your creativity from your mom's creativity, and it wasn't necessarily in the I would say in painting and drawing, because she definitely had creativity. It was in the art form, but it wasn't in the art form that we would consider, society would consider an art form, but it was definitely her art form. And
Exactly.
so I think it's interesting that you actually found the creative value in what your mother did, and then that kind of catapulted you into your creativity, because that's basically what it did. It kind of, it's like, wow, my mom's creative. And it's not even something that had to be put in. It's like, oh, okay, you're creative. It's just birth. It was just birthed out into you, which is interesting.
Exactly. I would say, deciding to be an artist and to go along with that creative field was definitely my mom. But as far as like the content of my work, when I start to talk about, Black bodies and current events and everything, I want another person I want to mention that actually didn't come until my senior year of undergrad. And we got a new professor come in, Michael Dixon. And I still keep in contact with him today, if he's watching. Hey, Michael. And he he was doing this work about his work is about identity. And to me, to see in that, that encouraged me to kind of like step out of my, my little box and to talk about more, controversial, I guess, issues, So that's when I started to get into Black hair and all the content that I'm in now.
Oh, okay. That's pretty amazing. And and that's just it. It's like a lot of teachers are huge influences. A lot of times we're looking outside of that. I know I had a teacher at Malcolm X Junior College, and Barbara Hogu. Just totally, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that woman inspired me. My older brother did, but that woman inspired me to just continue in the art. So definitely shout out to teachers who are, and a lot of times teachers don't even know, like you have some teachers that are trying to be an influence. And then you have some teachers that are just influences. They're not trying. It's how they live and how they present themselves. So I think that's pretty amazing that you were able to draw that. So tell me about the what was the Black creativity. You you actually took the best of show at the Black Creativity, Chicago Black Creativity, the Museum of Science and Industry. Huge, huge thing. So tell me about that.
Oh my God, I felt like a superstar. Like it was so unexpected and so amazing. Like I was so happy to win. For the 2019-2020 show, the one they just did, I won Best in Show. And for Black Creativity, I started applying to be in the show in 2015. And that first year, I did get in with one little painting. And then the next 2 years, I didn't get in at all. And then the year after that, I got in with 2 paintings. And then the next year, won the show. So I was like, worked so hard to get noticed, I guess. So I was really appreciative of that. And then to show at the Museum of Science and Industry is just fantastic. Yeah, I'm great to be a part of that. So and they're accepting now, so I'm gonna apply again to be in it.
That's pretty exciting. I'm going to show the piece because I was looking at it, and this was a pretty phenomenal piece, and I just really, really love it. The colors, everything about it was just amazing. And this particular piece has a mask on it. It has a mask, that green and red. What does that represent? Because I know green and red are a part of African colors. So what did that represent for you?
So this painting was part of this short series that I did about all the blackface imagery that kept popping up within major companies' marketing products. Like, for instance, Prada and Gucci. I think it was Gucci that had that sweater that you pull up, and then these white people had these, Sambo faces on, and that just kept happening. They apologized for it, like, oh, we didn't know, but then it happened again, and I just got fed up. I was like, I'm so sick of them showing this stereotypic image about Black people and then acting like they don't know what it's about. So I did this series, and this painting was one of the series. So I painted that same mask because they just stopped right here. It was just on the mouth and the nose with the Sambo exaggerated lips in red. So, of course, the Sambo image is the black skin with the red lips. But I was changing up the colors in every painting for a different representation. I called this painting, Is It Anger or Jealousy? So I'm using the content that's usually associated with these colors. One green with jealousy, and red and anger. But then I'm also being really kind of like to show like a bold statement with it, because it also looks like a watermelon. So I'm like, okay, so is this what you're saying? Like, I'm a Black person, so I'm I eat watermelon. So I just wanted to, got fed up with that statement, with that the constant showing of the Sambo image, and so this was my take on addressing that issue.
And it won at
Yeah.
the and it won. It took best of show. It's a very strong piece. I when I saw it, I mean, not just the color, it's just a very, very dynamic piece. And then you have another one, this one right
Yeah.
here, similar, same concept, it looks like, with the color concept, but this color is a little different. Is this a part of the same series?
It's the same series. So for each painting, I changed the color for a different meaning. I called this painting, is it, no, I called it Paint Me Purple Yellow Belly. So I was kind of like to say, if you're going to continue to use this Sambo image, then let me show you what colors to use. So
Mhm.
a purple representing royalty, and then I'm calling them a yellow belly coward, with the yellow.
Mm, mm. That's pretty powerful. That's a pretty powerful statement with that image. And like most people, like right now when people see it, because I know when people see it, they're like, oh, is it like COVID? With the COVID
Yeah.
mask. But this is something totally different and represents something totally different and very powerful representation of that whole thing. Because I do remember the Gucci's and all of these, and then all of the apologies afterwards. And my thing is,
Right.
you know what? Stop apologizing. Because I'm one of those people. It's like, if you're gonna do it, stop apologizing. Because I'd rather you just not apologize and just,
Right.
because I already recognize that you don't care. And
Exactly.
so since you don't care, I'm okay with that. At least I know you're honest. But you going back and saying, oh, we're sorry. We didn't
Right.
know. We didn't know. It's like, okay, you're not crazy, people, because you do research.
Exactly.
So I'm one of those people. I'm like, stop apologizing. Just stop apologizing, because you guys, this was just something so that you could spark some interest,
Mhm.
spark some controversy, put this put the spotlight back on your brand, pretty much, and then take it off. You probably weren't even thinking about selling this image. It was just something controversial to put a spotlight back on your brand, and that's basically what I saw it as. Now I see the piece that's behind you. Is that also part of the series?
No, actually, this one is about COVID.
Because I am like, the mask
Yeah,
is white and there's nothing in there. It's just a white mask. So that's
it's
a
just
right.
yeah, like this one. I did it because I had a critique for school the next day, and didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I was like, I want to paint myself with the mask, and then it might be hard to see, but like in the image, there's like some childish drawings, kind of how like I used to draw when you're a little kid.
Mhm.
And to me, it's just representing nostalgia and remembering better times,
The
So,
time without the mask on.
exactly,
The
yeah.
days I could walk down the street and not wear a mask.
I know, right?
I
Yeah.
know, I know. So it is yeah, it is, it has been some very interesting times right
Mhm.
now. So do you feel like that you'll be doing more work in along those lines that are in that sort of COVID? I know you're going into more of the positive sides of it, but do you see yourself doing any of the COVID where with the mask? I've seen a lot of artists doing these drawings with the mask on and all of those kind of stuff. Do you see yourself going in that direction at all?
No, no, I really don't. I mean, unless I get inspired to do it, but I really want my work, one, to be about the resilience in people,
Mhm.
and like I want it to be an encouragement. Like you said, I have seen a lot of artworks with the actual mask on. I think, I'm instead of being so literal with and showing a person with the mask that I might, do work that's with the same content, but without being as literal as that in the mask. So I don't necessarily see myself doing it just with the mask.
Doing the mask and putting those on. Yeah, because there's a lot on there. It's like somebody die and everybody start painting those pictures. Painting pictures. It's like, okay, how many Kobe Bryant paintings can you possibly do?
Exactly, yeah.
It's like we're gonna go beyond that. So I want to show a video of you actually working. You're actually creating. This is your Obama. You're creating an Obama piece. So I want to kind of show that and have you kind of talk a little bit about it, about this particular piece and how you go about choosing what you're going to paint and how you go about creating your work. So we'll talk a little bit about it. I'm not sure how long it is. Hold on, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. But this is sort of in a what is it? A time
lapse.
Right, it's in a time lapse, so it'll go fairly quickly. I'm going to just turn the sound down and just let you talk a little bit about it. Okay.
So yeah, I decided to do this time lapse video. The time lapse video and me showing how I painted a portrait was particularly because I want to build up a YouTube channel. So this was like going to be one of my starter videos. Mm-hmm. But I chose to talk about I chose to paint, Barack Obama because I think I did this. Yeah, it was in 2017, so a few years ago, and he was already at this point not the president anymore. We got the new guy, and it still wasn't the best situation. I don't remember exactly what was going on at that time, but I was like, I'm really missing Obama, and just like everybody in the world right now, I was like, well, I miss Obama being our president. So I was like, I want to paint him. And I had his 8 years of his presidency. I had never painted him before. Mm-hmm. So I decided, why not? So I decided, right now I'm in like one of my old Lost Mode studios in Waukegan, mm-hmm. and I just spent the day, painting him on mm-hmm. hard canvas, So yeah, it was really good. Actually, that was the only time lapse I did, but I want to do some more of.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you what channel? When are you going to do that YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I have it now. I just got to keep building content, and it's everything on social media. I'm under Angie Redman Artist. Okay. So that's the name of my YouTube channel too.
Right. So let me put that up there so people will know. Here we go. We have so Angie, she's like on her Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube are all under Angie Redman. I know when I put you up, I had, hold on, let me turn that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. We're just bring that down. There we go. I know I got this. I'm trying to, let me turn that off. I have to. As a shout out to Corinthia.
I love Corinthia peoples. Yeah.
Girl, shout out to Corinthia. You should get a shout out on yours. So now I forgot. What was I saying?
So you were gonna show like when you looked to Facebook and you typed in my name or something. Yeah.
Right. So that was let you guys know that the nice thing about Angie is everything. All of her social media is Angie Redman Artist. So when I went to her Facebook page, as you can see, I have her under Angela because that's. I was like, Angela, but if you can see down here, it's her ticker. Go to her website. She has some amazing work on her website. Some of her newer pieces are up there as well, which I absolutely love. We're going to talk about a few of those. This one right here, I wanted to, because I just love this piece. I think it's absolutely amazing. Tell us a little bit about that particular piece.
Yeah, so this is one of my newest pieces, and it's actually on unstretched canvas. So I was experimenting with different ways to display a painting. Uh-huh. It's large scale painting. I think it's like 84 inches high, something like that. And I was thinking about the series that it's in. It's in a series I did called "What Color Are You?"
Mhm.
And I was thinking about how color is associated with, with different human emotions. And then this painting, I'm thinking about the color blue. And so I called the painting I called it Calm Down Melancholy.
Mhm.
Because, you ever get like that sad feeling, and that's what I want to address in this painting. And it's might be kind of hard to see, but I wanted it kind of hard to see. You have to really look at it. But on her leg, the canvas that she's holding, it turns into a cut noose.
Mm.
And
Right
the
there.
reason, yeah, the reason I did that, it's a self portrait. So I'm holding a canvas because the canvas is what's important to me. But I have that cut noose because it's representing letting go of a slave mentality. Like there's nothing holding you back to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Mhm.
I feel like, and a lot of times too, like even in myself, you get depressed for whatever reason, or you feel like you can't do something, or you can't succeed, or you're too afraid to try because you're afraid to fail, something like that. Then this painting is saying to do it. Like there's nothing holding you back. She's in this chair, she's leaning forward, she's still holding on to the chair, but she's about to get up. Just got to keep encouraging yourself. So that's what this painting is about. Your mic.
I know, and the little thing will drop down that'll tell me my mic is off because it can hear me talking,
Yeah.
but it'll drop down and say, "You're muted." Um, I really like this painting and I like what it's about. I love the two-toned hair color that you put in there. And what does that represent, or does it represent? Because I know because it's dealing with color, and I know you don't just put things in by accident.
The two-tone color, that's how my hair looked at the time.
Okay,
For a long time, I took this chunk of my hair and I dyed it a different color. Just
really?
yeah, and I was just like just having fun with it, And I'm actually gonna do it again. So,
Right.
um,
Well,
so
that's one of the things you were telling me is like you said while you're in school, you're just gonna have some fun. You're just gonna be free
yeah,
and allow yourself to experiment with every aspect of who you are. And that I think that's pretty amazing that you're kind of walking in this sort of freedom. Do you feel like at this point in your life and this point in your career, you're just gonna walk in the freedom of being you?
yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I feel, especially with being in grad school, I'm experimenting and trying different, ways to paint and what works best for me, and what works best for, what's accepted mostly, through galleries and everything. So I do feel free, and to do whatever I want to do. Yeah.
Now you were just in, I know I saw you in it was Black Art in America. They did an article on you.
Yeah, actually, I looked at it. It was fine. The Harlem Fine Art Show.
Oh, was it? Okay, it was
Yeah,
Harlem.
that's what.
They did an article on you. The Harlem Fine Art Show did. And
Yeah,
what was that? I mean, what was that article about?
that article, like they reached out to me, which was, I was so appreciative of that. And they said that they had, seen my art online, and I had previously done shows. I think it was a Harlem Fine Art
That's
show that
yeah,
we
we
met.
met in
Yeah,
that one. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah. And so they knew I was one of their past artists, so they wanted to do an article. And it was just really free, opening. It was, tell us about yourself, who inspires you, and the type of content art that you make. And they asked me a series of questions, and it was all through email. I asked the questions, and then within a couple of days they had it online. So it was really nice.
Nice, nice. That's pretty I mean, that's one of the things that I like. I've been seeing more of you online. I had been seeing more things about you online. Of course, we're Facebook friends, so I've been seeing a lot more of your work, but just seeing you moving forward even more in what you do. Do you feel like you're starting to get out more and reach more and be seen more in the art community, as far as not just being a studio artist, but starting now to be more out in the art community, in the art world?
I do, and thank God, because like ever since I graduated undergrad in 2009, like I have been hustling, getting to every show that I can, just driving. Like I don't, it's just me, So like I would pack up my car and drive all over the place, to do different shows. I've really just been working as hard as I could, and now, seeing like get winning shows and getting into most shows and having people reach out to me to do interviews, like, you reached out to me. I really appreciate this. So I do see, I see it coming, like I was like, I pray about it every day, because I do want to be, I want to be a famous artist, like, and just putting it out there. So, I do see like every day it's even more and more progression.
Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Like when you say, I want to be a famous artist, what does that entail? What does that mean for you? What gets you to the famous artist?
I want my paintings. I want to be a household name, first of all, and I want my paintings to just, to pay all my bills. I don't have to work a second job somewhere. Just to be that full time, productive and profitable artist. And in the long run, as time goes on, I want to be in history books.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to study my art and my practice. As time goes on.
Mm-hmm. So are you like I talk to a lot of artists, and that's one of the things that I think most artists are looking for. So with the way that you are creating your work, is there a particular body of work that you're aiming for in your life? Are you working towards this goal of a particular body of work?
Not a particular body of work. I'm still, well, I was gonna say, like, I'm still trying to find out, what exactly the type of work that I want to paint about, and not exactly paint about, because I have that content, but there's not like a particular body of work that I want to do. I just want to do more, large scale paintings and mural size paintings. I want to do murals as well, outside in the community. Want to get more community involved, and I just want to, when I'm thinking large scale, I'm thinking like, Kehinde Wiley is one of my favorite painters, to do like a series of paintings his size. And I just want to, keep making work and just whatever happens. Because as far as the content, I'm very much so, about current events and what's currently happening, in society. So, I'm just want to stay active and stay, up to date with all of my art. So we'll, just see what happens.
See how far it goes and where it goes. So that's one of the things, like, and I think you've talked about that a little bit, of how you're navigating this art world, art culture, especially being in school. It's, because a lot of times shows, they'll say they don't want work from, like, they don't want assignment work. Like you create work in school, they don't want that. Right. So how are you navigating within that kind of frame? Because you have work that you do that's a part of your actual curriculum work, but you also have work that you do outside of that.
Well, I've been lucky enough that, especially, I think, I'm not sure how other grad programs work, but for this grad program at NIU, it's very much critique based. So they're not telling me at all what to paint,
Okay.
They like it's I'm still going forward with my content and painting anything I want. It's just the professors are coming in and giving me their professional advice.
Mhm.
So so I've been just still applying for any regular shows like I normally do. Like the one that we just talked about with the blue Calm Down Melancholy. That one is in a gallery, excuse me, in Chicago right now, called Prosperity Spear in Bridgeport.
Mhm.
So, and I got a couple of more recent paintings that I did while at school. And the one that won Black Creativity, I did that at NIU.
Right.
So, I've been definitely lucky to find this program where they're not trying to like dictate what you paint.
Oh yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So, and with it being you're in grad school, you can create your work based on who you are as opposed to based on what somebody's telling you to do. And
Right.
so, because one of the biggest things I find with being a studio artist, is once you leave school and become a professional, it's like, I'm going to be a professional artist. Then all of a sudden, you don't know how to work, because it's okay. I don't have an assignment. So how do I create? How did you get past that? Because you have to create anyway in your program. So if you're not getting assignments, how did you get past that assignment mentality?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And it was just because I, especially coming out of grad school, because I mean, out of undergrad, like the hair paintings were part of my final, thesis, for being in college. But I was able to keep going with it and to get past the assignment mentality because I was so passionate about it. Like it didn't feel like an assignment to me in the first place because this is what I wanted to do. So, now that I was, out of school and was able to, to get into shows and to do more things, it was just, and as I got into shows, it was more encouraging, to keep making art, because a lot of shows too, they'll say, they don't want old work, it has to be made within a certain year. So, that definitely was like, okay, you got to keep making new work. You got to keep being relevant. So it never really felt like an assignment once I was able to start painting what I really want to paint about. And so it was just easy to keep it going. It was natural.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, because I run into that, and I had that kind of mentality and had to break free of it when I started, and I think every now and then it still creeps up on me. When
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow, I gotta get this out. I gotta get this piece out. I got something coming up. So I think sometimes. So what is it like? Because you run into a lot of artists, and they might paint according to themes, or they might paint. They're a commission painters, but you paint what you enjoy painting, as opposed to some artists. Like I run into some artists, they're like, man, yeah, I do a lot of commission work, but it'd be nice to just paint what I want to paint. So what is that like, to be able to have that freedom to paint whatever you want to paint and enjoy that? And do you feel like that's something that you can continue to do even when you are done with school and you want to, it's like, I want to be a full-time artist. So how do I make that happen? Do I go into doing commissions, or do I stay within the realm of my staying true to myself in my own personal work?
To me, I think it's first of all, it feels great to be able, to paint what I want to paint, and I do, get people contact me every now and again for a commission, like especially over the summer. Thank God it was actually a lot of commissions over the summer. But to me, it's about having that balance. Like I'm never gonna get to the point, or I'm not gonna allow myself to get to the point where the commissions are taking over and I'm not doing my own work. So I feel like until the work I want to do starts selling, you know, $1,000 a painting, then you still need this extra income coming in, and so I don't mind doing commission work as well, but communicating with the person who's buying a commission, a logical time frame, because I'm going to organize my schedule that my work is not going to suffer at all. So I'm gonna. To me, it's just all about getting that balance, and I want to continue. Especially when I graduate, be a full time artist. I hope to get more commissions, to come in. There's definitely great income, and it's good as also another way of getting your name out there. But won't let my work suffer for it. So got to make time. The commissions kind of fit in where they fit in. Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. So it keeps dropping down. It's like, Louise, you're not on. So now when you do commission work, are you doing commission work based on your work, or are you doing commission work based on what somebody is asking for? Whereas like I've had people, they're asking for this realistic. I'm like, yeah, no, that's just not that's not what I do.
Yeah.
So what type of do you look at your commission that way, where it's like you're still creating in your own style of what?
Yeah, like it has to be my, my at least my style and my content, because I've had people who've asked me to do abstract work or landscapes. It's like I'm a portrait artist. I'm a figurative artist. I'm not. No, I'm sorry. No, and so and then even when you're working, and if I'm painting a portrait or a figure, I like to add all these different colors in the skin tone and just have bold colors. Sometimes the person getting a commission might want to calm it down a little, and they're paying for it, so I'll calm it down, but that's why the commission has to work its way around my actual art, so I can still make that extra money, but still do the work that I want to do and how I want to do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's interesting because that was one of the things that when Charlie Palmer had spoke, he said when people ask you to do a commission, they're asking you based on your work, and so they should expect that when you do the commission, it's going to be based on how you work, because sometimes you will. Because one of the things that I asked him, and I'll probably ask you, is what type of commission work do you like? What type of commission work do you like?
I do like it when people ask me to do portraits, and actually, one of my really good friends, both her mom and her auntie, got a commission for me, and what they wanted. One wanted, like, they both wanted 3 panels, but they wanted it like a theme. So one wanted a Harlem Renaissance theme, and the other one wanted a jazz theme. And they really let me figure out what I wanted that to look like. And at the end result, it was just something that I probably wouldn't have created on my own, because that's not something that I thought about. But I loved it. It was like this. It looked like a big mural. How all these different aspects of elements coming into it. It was painting people, but it was also painting instruments with the jazz theme, and with the Harlem thing, it had cars and stuff in there. And it just all came together, and it looked really nice. So I like commissions like that as well. That surprised me. Once it's done. So yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, those I like. Those sound fun, but if still you were still able to create them in your own flavor and in your own style, which is really nice. Uh, I like when we're able to do those. So, what would you have as we wrap it up, because it's 7? What would you have to say to a young artist that's just starting out, that's saying, hey, you know what? I really want to kind of get out there. I want to get my stuff out there. And by all means, if anyone has questions, just, you can post them in the comment section. She would love to answer them for you. But what would you say to a young artist that's just getting out there and it's like, I'm getting out there, getting my feet wet. I see what you've been doing. What would you have to say to them?
I would say to them, first of all, keep making work, like constantly try to make work every day, do something different that's going to add to your portfolio. And then not only that, know that when you're running a business, because your artwork is your business, that you can't just make art. You have to also, promote yourself online and be consistent with it. You have to go to different events and art shows and galleries. And even if you're not in the show, look what other artists are doing. Look what's popular in the art world today. And keep business cards on you, because when you go to these shows, network, and you never know who you can meet. And especially because that, to me, networking was so hard for me because I used to be, you're really shy. But it's honestly not that bad. Just get in, get a conversation going, and just, get your art out there, dish out those business cards. And also too, I found this to be extremely helpful, is go to grad school. If you go to college, because I went to college, obviously I went to undergrad, and then after undergrad I got a master's in digital art at Knowledge Systems Institute. And after that program, I had this master's degree, but it was like, I'm not into digital art. I'm still painting. So I ended up a couple years later, that's when I came here back to grad school to paint. And if I could do my life again, I would have just went straight to, to get a master's of fine arts degree. And I'm in the third year now, but these 3 years have really helped me, develop as an artist. And I'm meeting the teachers, the professors are working artists themselves, and so they're great connections for you. So right now, I would say going to grad school it's been fantastic. And a lot of times people say, I don't want to go to school or go to grad school because of the money. I by no means have that much money at all. Like, I'm broke. But there's always a way, the financial aid, there's always a way to do it. Like, don't let money be like, oh, I'm not going to even consider that, So yeah, to wrap it up, I would say for the young artists to just be proactive and continue to push your career, because at the end of the day, it's your career and no one else is going to do it for you.
Well, thank you. Lindsay Wicks.
Lindsay! I love her. That's Lindsay is the her mom and auntie was the one who got the paintings for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lindsay, for coming on and spending time with us. She came on a little early. So thank you so much for Angie. This has been amazing, and I really, really enjoyed interviewing you. I want you guys to go and check Angie out. You can see her website is Angie Redmond, AngieRedmondArtist.com. It's the one, it's sitting there. It's going on our ticker. I'm actually going to take it off the ticker so you guys can actually see it. This is her website. She has, like I said, she has some absolutely amazing art. I love it. I love going and checking her out. Also, you can check her out on Facebook at Angie Redmond Artist. On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You guys heard her. She's got a YouTube channel. She needs to put some more content up there. But that's okay, because we haven't seen the content that's there yet. So we're going to go and check out the content that she has. So we'll go and check out the content that she has, and then it'll bring us up to speed on what Angie has out there. Go and check her out. Go and check out her artwork. This is, once again, our guest artist is Angie Redman. She does some absolutely amazing art. And we just want to thank you, Angie, for hanging out with us and interviewing with us. You are absolutely phenomenal. And I can't wait to see how you and your artwork progress down the road. I'm hoping to get you back in in the next
Yeah.
stage of your career. You'll probably be done with school. You'll be like, "Yes, Louise, I've arrived.
Right.
I've arrived. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. You can't afford any of my work now."
Oh,
So I
thank
better
you.
get it now. I better get it now because I probably won't be able to afford it later because I see amazing things coming from you, and I see you going a long way with your artwork. So I just wanted to let you know that. So hang on, Angie. I'm going to close this out, and I'll chat with you as soon as I'm done after I end the broadcast. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to our interview with Angie. This is Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show, Black Art and Culture. And I am excited that you guys hung out with us and got to be a part of the interview with Miss Angie Redmond. She's an amazing artist. Definitely tune back into us. We're here every Saturday at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. That means it's the mountains out here. So definitely tune in to us. Check us out on our website, the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. I am your host, Louise Cutler. The Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show, Black Art and Culture. Like I said, our artist interview series is every Saturday at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can also check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Twitter. It's all the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. And check us out on YouTube. Go ahead and hit subscribe on our YouTube channel or go and like us on Facebook. Thanks again. We really, really, oh, hold on. We got some, what's that? Hey y'all. Yeah. Lindsay came back in and said, hey y'all. Well, thank you so much. Let's see. What did she say? Bill Station. I have no. That's a friend of mine. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you guys back here next Saturday, hanging out with us on the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. So thanks again. Talk to you guys later. Bye.